Hello, welcome to Take Two Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to all of you. How is everybody doing today? This is an exciting day. I guess we have Take Two Tuesday here, so that makes it a little bit exciting. But what's really exciting is Stephanie is on HSN today. So I hope you guys were able to catch that. She was on West Coast time. It was 7:30. So if you missed it, it is available still on the website. I'll show you on the HSN website. So happy Tuesday again. My name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life in Southern California. I see a lot of you jumping in here on the chat. So let me say hi to some of you. Welcome. This is Take Two Tuesday. What we do here at the Stamps of Life is once a week we gather together on this live stream. And it's called Take Two because we are taking a second look at some items from the Stamps of Life. Most of these items are a few years back. So we have a combination stamp and die set to look at today and also a folded card. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go back in time, look at those. For some of you, this is an introduction to the items. For some of you, this is just a reminder that you have them and you need to be using them. So that's what we do here on Take Tuesday. We'll have some fun. We'll review those items. We have a game today, a little bit later. It's a crossword puzzle. Now, they only give us 3 minutes to do it. So that means I will need your help. So make sure you stick around for that. So it's real important. Everybody starts jumping in on the chat. All right. I will need your help. We also have some fun facts today. We have our devotional. We will be in Proverbs 14. And we do that once a week to kind of get into God's word and expecting that God will speak to us. And that's a good habit for all of us to develop. And so maybe besides just doing the devotional once a week with me, maybe you want to open your Bibles on your own. And we had talked about in a month, you could pretty much go, if you read a chapter a day, you could go through the whole book of Proverbs. And God has a lot of wisdom, a lot of things he wants to share with you. So again, my name is Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. We're a clear stamp and die company, card making. We have cardstock, ink, all the kind of stuff you need to make your own homemade greeting cards, DIY crafting cards for birthdays, holidays, whatever you're celebrating, get well cards, all that kind of stuff. So we have the items here. So if you're new to us, welcome. And if you are new, let me know in the chat. I see we have about 30, probably about 35 people. I can't see the Instagram people here, but we probably have about 35 people with us all together. And so welcome to all of you. If you're new, let me know in the chat. Say, hey, this is the first time I'm here. And I hope you'll have fun and that you'll want to come back next time. We are aiming, I would love this to only be 1 hour, but usually we're about an hour and a half. Just so you know, the whole program takes about an hour and a half. But we will have some fun together. I have an icebreaker question for you. And again, you guys got to help me out. You got to answer in the chat. Okay, this makes it more fun because you know what? It feels like I'm just talking to this camera right here. I know that all you ladies and gentlemen are on the other side. Who is here? I forgot to say that. So you're on the other side of the camera, but all I see is the camera. I can't see your faces, which would be way more awesome. So hi, Veer and Shelby and Teresa, Bryant forever, it looks like, Sylvie and Diane, Debbie, Virginia. Hello, all of you. Janet. Hi, Jeffrey and Melissa and Jamie. Welcome, all of you. Jenny is here and Ellen is here. So again, make sure you participate. It makes it way more fun. Otherwise, it's just Ken talking to a camera, and that's kind of a little bit boring. It really is. Okay, my icebreaker question for you. You guys got to answer. Let's see. What game show would you be super awesome at? If you had to go on a game show and you were going to do really good on it, what show would it be? I have some examples. Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Price is Right, Family Feud. We do that one here some of the time. We do pretty good. Match Game. We're going back in time now. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's not too old. Hollywood Squares, way back in time. Does anybody remember Hollywood Squares? Or how about Joker's Wild? Going way back in time. So if you were to be on a game show, which one would you be super awesome at? It could be one of those or anyone that pops into your mind. Maybe there was one that you really liked. Let's Make a Deal is another one I remember. Let's Make a Deal. That was a good one. love connection, or I don't know. There's newlyweds. Pick any of those that you think you would be really awesome at. All right. Let's see our answers here. Sylvie said, name that tune. That's good. I think I might do good at name that tune. I think. Dawn says, Price is Right. Diane says, Family Feud. Deb says she did see Stephanie this morning. Great. Thanks. I think she did a good job too. Dawn says, oh, wow, Dawn, you're awesome. Janet says she remembers all those game shows that we mentioned. Yeah, we were going back in time. Bryant says Price is Right or Wheel of Fortune. And Connie says Price is Right. And Jamie says Family Feud. Great. Thank you all for jumping in. So if you are watching at a later time, if you weren't able to catch us live, go ahead and down below me, there's a comment section where you'll find links to the items that we reviewed today. There'll be links to the Stamps of Life website, information about our clubs, all that fun stuff. But if you are watching later and you want to participate in the chat, add your comments down below, because I always like to see those comments. And the more activity we get in the comment section, the more YouTube and Facebook will share our videos with other people. And that is our goal. We want people to find out about the Stamps of Life and the fun that we have here. So make sure if you are viewing later, that you do add that in the comments below. And then also, if you jump in late, don't worry, because all of this is recorded. You can watch at a later time. Now, I was mentioning that Stephanie was on the HSN website. So I want to show you that. If you missed it, how can you find what Stephanie did earlier this morning? Let me show you real quick. I think I can pull this off. Let's give it a try. Got to switch a camera around here. Okay, that's good. Whoops, not that one, Ken. There we go. There's the HSN website. So you would go on to HSN, and this happens to be, I went on HSN and I searched, what did I search? I searched Stamps of Life. So all the Stamps of Life items show up. So you can see all the new items. They're right there listed. But if you want to see the presentation from earlier, you would go to Watch up here at the corner, Watch. Click on that, and then should switch. Go ahead and get rid of that. Maybe it's not. There it goes. Oops, Watch, and then you want the program guide. See that program guide right there? And then you'll just go and you'll look for the hour. And Stephanie was on between, what time was it? Where's her name? There it is. So if you were on the East Coast time, she was on the between 10 and 11. Out here on the West Coast, it was between 7 and 8. So you'll see Stephanie's name right there. And you can just click on that. It will take you to the video. Let's do it. So it was so crafty. Oh, it doesn't show the video there. Have they not posted it yet? Let's see. How could we find it? Oh, okay. You see how it says Watch Now under these ones that were earlier in the day? So the Watch Now. Oh, there it is. No. Watch Now. Okay, so for some of the hours, the Watch Now has been posted. You see, like there at the 7 and 8 East Coast time, that has the Watch Now button. But Stephanie's hour does not yet have the Watch Now button. So when it shows Watch Now right under here under Shop Items, you'll be able to click that, and it'll take you to the video if you want to go back and watch it. So that is on the HSN website. And then let's see, later this week, Stephanie will be back here on YouTube and Facebook with us. And for our live stream, that will be for Stephanie's Crafting Corner. That's going to be on Thursday. You can find us. And I know a lot of you aren't getting the reminders. So if you're not getting the reminders about us going live, set yourself an alarm, maybe on your phone, or maybe you have an alarm around the house. Set it for around 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, and you'll get a reminder that we're going live. I also wanted to remind you that the card kit, our current card kit, we are down to our last couple days of this card kit being available. This is the one that kind of features the really cool, we have the panda items. We had a lot of panda stuff this month, and this kit comes with panda stickers, Panda Ideas. It has this really cool die set that comes with it, a full card making A1 size stage card. It's really easy to make, and it's included in the kit. So the kit is a super good value. What is going to happen, and then we have the paper pad. It has a lot of the koala themed items in there. So I know the koala cuties were really awesome, popular in April. So these are in the pattern paper book. There's more koalas in there. So if you want to get this kit, if you want to join, you got to sign up today or tomorrow, because on Thursday, our new card kit is going to start to ship. So that's what I want you to know. The new card kit starts to ship on Thursday morning. So Maria and I will be here bright and early on Thursday, and we're going to ship that kit out to you, okay? So if you are a Card Kit Club member, your brand new May kit is going out this Thursday. So we'll be here super early. Then I also wanted to mention, we've still got a little more time with this. Let me get rid of that. We can get rid of this one. Our Fold It Club, we're down to about 10 days left on this Fold It Club, okay? If you haven't seen it, I just want to show it to you real quick. And you can still get this one. This is our Fold It Club, Stamps of Life Fold It Club. It is the bird and nest, and it is available here at the Stamps of Life. Let me see if I can. It's my name. I'm trying to find my name. So again, if you guys don't know, my name's Ken. I'm here at the Stamps of Life. So this is the May Fold It Club. It makes an A2 size card. You get the nest dies and the bird are both included. You can piece them together or they can work separately. Okay, so you have an option on that. It comes with stencils and it comes with an idea card. And then you have your cool, here is a, let's see, a birdless nest. And we'll just pretend he flies in and woof, there he is. He can fit right in that nest, and you can make it fit into an A2 size card. So you have that option. They can be separate. Or this one, our card designer went ahead and made, let me see, can I get that a little bit closer? Made our bird nest and die all together at the same time. So you have a couple different options with that. Okay, that's the bird and nest. So if you're thinking about one of our clubs, this one is the one that comes with 2 extra free stencils, I believe. 2 extra free gifts from Stephanie. And then remember that this month and the previous month, I've been adding freebies to the Card Kit Club shipment. So probably some of you are Card Kit Club members and you know you've been getting extra freebies with your card kit each month. That is going to continue. They're already packed here on May. And we're working on the ones for June. I would think at least another 4 more months of freebies for Card Kit Club members. So if you want free stuff, join the Card Kit Club. It's going to start shipping. You'll get it even now if you order the April kit. It has freebies in it. 2 free items from me, things I have found around the warehouse. And they're pretty nice items. And then that's going to continue on for a few months. And then, like I said, this month, the Fold It Club has the extra dies in it. Okay. Let's see, what else? Am I missing anything else? I told you about the 2 kits, HSN. We have Crafting Corner. I think I've covered it all. Let's see if everything's going okay here on the chat. I think so. Good. Yep, everything looks good. All right. We are going to continue on. Our first item today. What are we going to start with? I don't even know the order of how we're supposed to be doing these things. Let's see. Our first item we will look at today is the Stamps of Life. And let me go ahead and find this before we jump in there. And it is the Little Peeps Elephant Clear Stamps and Dies. And look how cool this is. Does that focus very good? Ooh, I'll show you all these card samples here in just a second. I don't know why the exposure always changes on that, bummer. But I will show you these over here on our desk. I got some fun samples, and I will show you how to die cut these real quick and easy. And there you have the stamps and dies that are available. There's the die set. It looks like it has 1, 2, 6 dies. We'll look on the website, and then the stamps also. Our stamps are made in the USA. You're going to get high quality impressions out of these. They're made out of photopolymer. Stephanie always likes to mention that. That means high quality. These are from August of 2022. Now we have a whole bunch of different little peeps. I think of some of them like we have monkeys, we have a zebra, giraffe, we've talked about horse. There's all kinds of little peeps that we have, and we have little peeps people too. I think there's one called Kirsten and Katie and Liam and Miller. So we have all of those, and a lot of them mix and match. They come with different clothes or outfits that you can use. Just a question for fun, because we're talking about jungle animals, and we're going to do some fun facts for our elephants. What jungle, and this is where you got to help out in our comment section, what jungle animal do you find super, how should we say, super interesting? And I'm going to give you some examples. So a jungle animal, think of a jungle animal. What kind of jungle animal do you find super interesting? And first, of course, I think of a gorilla, right? That's an easy one. Then we have the elephant. Let me see the other ones. I did have where did I lose my name? Oh, here they are. Hippo, an anaconda snake, a tiger, a monkey. We have all kinds of animals. Leopards, the jungle elephant. What is an okapi? Does anybody know what that means? O-K-A-P-I. Nile crocodile, mambas, those are poisonous snakes. The python snake, ooh, lots of reptiles. Gray parrot, a crowned eagle, and these are all jungle animals. Chimpanzee, gorillas, I said, baboons, monkeys, of course, bush babies. Who knows what a bush baby is? Bush baby, I've never heard of that one. So do any of these animals you find very interesting? And then, of course, we have in the water a tigerfish, ooh, and an insect, termites. Yikes. I think in the jungle, termites can get really big. So of all those jungle animals, which one do you kind of find interesting? Today, we're talking about the elephant. The elephant. I think jungle animals are cool. They're wild and all over the place. So some of you, let's see, we're saying, Dawn says, thanks for the freebies. You're welcome. And then Dawn says she likes tigers. And Jan does say elephant. Teresa, monkey. Sylvie says tigers. Yes. And Okapi has legs like a zebra. Okay, there you go. In the Jacksonville Zoo. Gosh, see, when we pool all our knowledge together, we can learn a lot, because I had never heard that an okapi is like a zebra. The Jacksonville Zoo. Great. So there's something we learned today. We're going to do some fun facts for the elephants here in just a second. But let me show you these samples and our die set, and then we'll check it out on the website too. So here are, first I'll show you the stamps over on my little display table here. We've got there's a stamp set that you can get. It has sentiments like, don't forget, because I guess elephants have good memories, right? I'll always stand by you. Thanks a ton. That's a good one for an elephant. You are awesome. You're elephantastic. I get it. I'm here for you. So you get all those. And then if you like the dies to go with it, again, 1, 2, I'm pretty sure there's 6. We'll look at it again on the website. 6 dies that coordinate with that. Get my name off of there. And then our card samples. Here is a birthday theme. You're elephantastic. Let's eat cake. I would say that's birthday themed. Make a wish. It's your special day. Happy, happy birthday, it says on the inside. And then we have thanks a ton. It's got some of our, I think that's the tilted rectangle dies there on the front. I think. And there's some stitching on there. I'll always stand by you. There's our little peep sheep with the elephant. And you can see how the clothes can be mixed and matched on here. You have lots of options with that. Don't forget. So a little reminder card. Whoops, one of my things went off there. There we go. Let's see if I can make that go down to just a little bit. This is dangerous to be adjusting my camera here live. Things can go crazy. There we go. That looks good. And then another don't forget. Here's our little guy playing football. Decorated and out in the sunshine. And then we have some, this is a great one. This is with this is a 5x7 pool fold it that is also available on the Stamps of Life website. And that is a fold it. It opens up just like that. So that's the shape card. You can add your elephants to that. So lots of great ideas. Lots of these were just A2s, rounded corners, all kinds of different options. We have the slim line. You can do whatever you want with these stamps and dies. Now, over on the website, let's check it out here, what we have on our website. Let me find the page. So if you just type in elephant, you are going to find all the elephants we have. And there are a couple other ones besides this Little Peeps collection. But here we have the Little Peeps, and the stamp set has 9 stamps that you get with this one. Again, I told you made in the USA, and then you're going to find these card ideas. Some of the ones I just showed you, and there might be some new ones in here too mixed in as well. So let's see. Oh, there's a different one. That is with one of our, I think it's called a pull-up card folded. So it's kind of multi-layered there. You see how you have one character in the back and one in the front. That is a fun one. And there's our pool folded that we just looked at, and our guy outside. So most of these we did see. Don't forget, I'll always stand for you. So that, I believe, is a mini slimline card. And we saw that one. So there is a video there with Stephanie. That's all on the website. Then if you just scroll down, you'll see the dies that coordinate right there. Okay. Dies that coordinate. Now look at this. This is tricky because this picture only shows 4 dies. 4 dies. But let's see. I have 6 dies in this set. Is that tricky or what? So you do not just get the shirt top, you get some shorts there too. So that is included. We'll have to correct that on the website, because if you go down here and look at, wow, there's a real mix here. So you see this main picture. Now this one shows the extra shorts. You get those, okay? You will get those. And then the next picture shows no shorts. So shorts or no shorts, I'm telling you, it comes with the shorts, all right? So you get 6 dies. We're going to try to get that fixed here on the website. So sometimes you find little things that slip through that you didn't know about. I think all the card samples are the same. Let's scroll through here real quick. We saw that one. We saw that. Oh, there's a different one there. It's your birthday. Our little guy's flying up in the air with his balloons. We saw that. All right, that's it. So that is all on our website. Now, before we take a look at these, I'm going to double check everything is going okay here on chat. Good. Yeah, the samples were great, right, Teresa? Hi, Polly. Yes, I am having a good day. So far, so good. The HSN went off without any hitches or problems, so that's great. Stephanie was happy to be back on there, so that got our day off to a good start, and now here we are. So we're having some fun together. Now, I want to do the elephant facts, all right? Elephant facts, and there are some interesting facts about elephants, and we always call these kind of our fun facts section, where we can learn a bit of extra information, and we get together to craft and have some fun and go through some items, and then we do our Bible time, to have God speak to us spiritually. But sometimes it's just good to learn something new, make our brains work a little bit. That's why we try to play a game together. It makes us think a little bit, do some different things that we wouldn't normally do. That's what we have to do, is make sure we're not getting like in ruts where we just do the same routine day after day, which can be okay, but it kind of gets boring, and then our brains just kind of turn like mushy. They don't work as good. So if we kind of stretch ourselves to learn some things, to learn some new skills, some information, that's what we're trying to do. Have some fun, learn, make life a little more interesting. So about elephants, let me switch over so you can see what I'm looking at. And we have these facts for our elephant guys here. And so I will scroll through these. We'll read most of them. So elephants are the world's largest living animals. The only living animal that's bigger, can anybody guess without looking? The only bigger animal than an elephant is a whale. A whale, and they live in the water. So there's 3 different main types of elephants. The largest is the African savanna elephant. These look at how huge these are. These elephants are about 9 meters, which is about 30 feet long from trunk to tail, 4 meters tall. That's 13 feet tall. Wow. And adult males, get this, can weigh up to 15,000 pounds. 15,000 pounds. Wow. Polly, if you go on the HSN website and look at the watch guide, you can get the link for the video for Stephanie. They haven't posted it yet. Eventually, I will put it on Facebook and YouTube if I can get it. But right now, if you have to go on the HSN website if you want to see what Stephanie did earlier. So it talks about the 3 different Main types, the African savanna, African forest, and Asian elephant. Then there's different types of those. Elephants can live almost as long as humans. Anybody know that? While African elephants have a maximum lifespan of about 74 years, Asian elephants can live to be about 80. The largest known elephant in captivity was 89 years old. That's a long time. That's cute. The mommy with the baby, right? They look cute, but I think elephants are pretty dangerous. Some older female elephants are known as the matriarchs. They serve as leaders of the elephant herd. All right. Family groups generally range in size from about 2 to more than 20 elephants. They probably stay together like to protect each other, I guess. Elephant families are always changing. When an elephant may begin its morning among a group of 12 to 15 individuals, it may join larger herds around midday. They feed together. It says it's not unlike how we as humans go to school or work during the day and then return to our family, our house at night. The elephant calves, that's the babies, they can weigh around 200 pounds when they are born. Wow, that is a big baby. And drink over 4 gallons of milk a day. Wow. Male elephants mature and leave their mothers at around 14 years old. So, man, if you are a elephant mom, you are stuck with those kids for a while, like till they're teenagers, 14. How about that? Not all elephants have tusks. It's just not the case of male elephants having tusks and females lacking tusks either. While most African elephants have tusks, only some male elephants have tusks. Interesting. Of course, we know how people try to take their tusk, and that's not good. Elephants are herbivores, so they eat plants, over 300 different types of plants. Their favorite food is grass, roots, fruits, and bark. Some Asian elephants will eat bananas, rice, and sugar cane. Yeah, so the farmers don't like the elephants coming around. Elephants consumed about 200 pounds of food in one day and drink about 26 gallons of water per day. Wow, these guys are just going through the food and the water like crazy. An elephant's trunk is actually its nose. However, it smells, but the trunk can also has muscles in it. So it can trumpet, spray water, pick up things, show affection, and forms of communication. A trunk is a nose, but it's also like the elephant's hands. Elephants have poor eyesight. I didn't know that one. But a great sense of smell and hearing. So they can hear things that even humans can't hear, higher or lower. And aside from hearing, elephants' ears are important for regulating their body temperatures. So something to do with their circulation. It says that since their ears are thin and reach far out, the blood cools down when it goes in, and the cooler blood is circled back into the body to cool the elephant down. Elephants are very intelligent and empathetic animals. They have been known to show compassion, self-awareness, and grief. I saw one part where it says, for instance, when a member of a herd is injured, the rest of the herd will walk more slowly to make sure they can keep up. Well, that's pretty nice, isn't it? As the saying goes, an elephant never forgets. It is true, elephants have excellent memories. They have a great recollection of other elephant faces. I always wonder how they know that, like when they say an animal is colorblind, or they can only see certain color, or like this, they recognize another elephant's face. How do you know an animal recognizes another animal, or what an animal can see? I don't know how they test that, but it'd be interesting to know. Elephants appear to have a way of mourning their dead. When encountering the remains of a deceased elephant, they stop, observe them silently, often smelling and touching the bones. Sometimes they will try to bury the members of their herd who have died with branches. This is a funny one. Think how big the elephants are, but elephants are scared of bees. Scared of bees. Think how big an elephant is and how tiny a bee is, and they're scared of them. When they encounter bees, elephants flap their ears, stir up dust, and make lots of noise. Swarms of bees can seriously hurt elephants, so maybe that's why they're afraid. So yeah, elephants are afraid of bees. Interesting. All right, so there's some good fun facts. Maybe there's something you learned there today that you didn't know about elephants. Hopefully, you picked up some new information. let's check these out. Okay, we're going to go over to our workstation. I will die cut something out of here, and then I'll go and try to stamp these two. I think both will be easy. Let's check it out. We'll move over to our work table, and I'm going to switch cameras. All righty, there we are. So let's see, what do we want to do first? Let's put our samples over there to remind you. Again, if you have these, you want to be using these little peeps, guys. If you don't, if you want to get them, they are on our website, and we have a whole bunch more on our website as well as far as little peeps. And there is an elephant folded. I know we have that on the website. I think there's like a parade elephant. So if you're into elephants, we do have a few options for you, okay, on the Stamps of Life website. All right. Let's see. Now that will be for die cutting. We'll die cut our elephant with that here in a minute. And we'll need a background. But let's see. Let's go ahead and stamp him. We're going to just get some white cardstock here. And let's see what I can do. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down real quick and get us a nice clean sheet here. Little Peeps elephant, and we're just stamping and die cutting them here, showing you how easy this is to do. You can decorate them, of course. You can do fun stuff like this and really color them, make them look super nice. I'll just give you the basic. Here's stamped with the border around it. The dies have the inside piece of the elephant, and you can also do the border. I'll show you how to cut that when we get to the dies here. All right. Let's go ahead and move this a bit out of the way and see what we can do. Make sure my chat and everything's working okay over there. Good, good, good. Oh, Ruth made it. Awesome. Hi, Ruth. Welcome to Take Two Tuesday. All right. We're having a good time here. Let's continue on. So I'm going to stamp this guy. We're going to just use that really large stamp there. We'll get that one out of there, and we will make an image with him. Easy to do if you're new to stamping. Clear stamps produce really nice, high-quality impressions. Ours do. They're made in the USA. So this is a clear block, and you are just going to adhere this to this. They're not really sticky, but they will adhere to the block, and you want that. You don't want them falling off or anything. So as long as they're clean and dry, they're pretty much going to stick to your block, okay? Clear block, your stamp there. And then we need some ink. I'm going to go ahead and ink this guy here. And it's important that you see the stamps have lots of little lines there. And if you want your impression to come out good, you're going to want to make sure you get ink all on all of these lines. And I have my secret weapon here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I've got that. And got my stamps. I need my cardstock. And I'm going to give you an example of one. Let's just say maybe I was just in a hurry and I wasn't, and I'll kind of make it really crazy so you really see the differences. But like I inked it, oh, this is good, but I wasn't really paying attention that much. So I put my ink on there, and I'm going to go ahead and get my impression. Now I want to get this card done fast. So I got my ink on there. I go ahead and add it and push down real good, and that gets your ink all on the card. But look, oh no. So this is what happens. I'm just trying to show you an example. If you don't get the ink on all of the lines, okay? That's an example. See how I did get most of the outside? Now this is an extreme example, but I'm just trying to let you see all the details that were inside there. His little trunk, his eyes, all that's missing, and part of his arm, because I didn't make sure that there was enough ink on everything. So the key here is when you are inking, you want to make sure, and you can see through the block, that there is ink on everything. That is your goal. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount of ink, but you want to make sure that there is ink on everything so you don't get the results that I just showed you down there. So now I'm going to do it the correct way. I'm just going to take my time a little bit more, and I'm just going to kind of tap, really make sure I fill in all the little lines, the extra spots, so I'm not missing anything. So if you ever have that happen, maybe you just didn't get the ink all over the image like you need to, okay? So just take your time. And sometimes it's good. I did this yesterday, is to go ahead and do a practice run, like on a extra piece of scrap paper, to see how you're doing. you can test out and see if you are inking enough before you really put it on your card or someplace it's important. Okay, so testing and trying and practicing are all good. So I think I've got this inked up pretty good. I'm going to add my guide to cardstock here, press down, and now look at the difference. So that time I just took a little bit more time. I made sure that all of my image had ink on it, and look at the different results. Again, this is an extreme version, but sometimes you might just miss a little arm or just a little piece of his head, or maybe his eyes didn't come out all the way. That's the key, is making sure that you get ink all over your image. And see how perfect this one came out. Let's do it one more time just for fun. And as you do this more and more often, you will just get better at it. It just kind of gets that way. You know what stamps really need a little more attention because they have extra detail. And you also learn the stamps. I would say like words, they have lots of small lines. You really want to pay attention to those. I'm going to have to change my light here. It's starting to flicker. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and add that image there. And whoops. Now look at this time. I got just a little bit extra ink on him somehow. But the center one came out good. All of the lines are good, but somehow I smudged a little ink onto my block, and it did get onto our image. Not the end of the world, but of course the one in the middle, he looks the best. This one, I think I was talking too much and I wasn't paying attention. So that can happen. That can happen. Let me fix my light real quick. I'll come right back over here to the table. Give me 1 second. Some of the time this light works really great and I have no problems. And then all of a sudden it just starts flickering. And every once in a while, it just decides to go off. So hopefully, to save myself problems, I will unplug the power. It's got a battery pack, and it should last the whole rest of the episode. Okay, so I think I've got that. It's still kind of flickering. Let's see. Hopefully, stay on light. You guys, say a little prayer for me. We got to keep that light working. Okay, then let's go. So we did that. Let's go ahead and die cut. We won't die cut this image. We'll save this for another time. So I'll put that off to the side. But let's get our die cutting machine. And let's go ahead and use the dies that we have here. And I have my machine. Let's get those guys out of the way. And let's bring that machine over here. And I need a little piece of, I need a black shadow. I want to have a shadow for this guy that's kind of darker. So let me see if I can find some extra cardstock here. That will work. It's kind of like a dark color. And we'll use that here in a little bit. We'll put our stamping pad off to the side. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and die cut. Let me zoom out now. We're too close. Whoops. Back. Okay, there we go. We're going to die cut these guys. Since elephants are usually gray, let's go with this gray. And we're going to take the inside image out of there. And we'll run that through the machine first. Let's go ahead and get that. Face down. The blade's got to be face down when you do die cutting. And then we're going to use this for the background. So we'll come back to that. So first we're going to do our image. Again, Stamps of Life, Little Peeps, Elephant. And we do have other Little Peeps on the website as well. So if you like elephants, if you like other jungle animals like we were talking about, we have some farm animals. There are a wide variety of Little Peep guys that are available on the Stamps of Life website. Today we're looking at the elephant. All right, we run that through. We'll leave everything here. All right, I die cut that. I'll come back. We'll come back to that. There he is. He's got all the little die cuts that match here. The cutouts all went into this, and I'll give you a background here so you can see how it actually looks together. Now, you do have the option that you see he has these little eyes, and I see a lot of our designers did take the time to add little eyes there themselves. They have those dark little eyes there, which looks great. It looks way better than if we just leave them blank. But since we're using a dark colored cardstock, it's going to fill in the eyes for us. So we're taking a little shortcut. That will help us out. I did that. This time we are cutting out the outside, which we call the shadow of the die. And this will kind of give us the option to layer our little elephant. Let's go ahead and run that through. And that's good. I've got my image, ran all the way through the machine. And let's see what we got. So now we have the shadow. So to give you an example, if you're making your card and you're piecing your guys together, here's your dark background, what we call the shadow, and you just layer your elephant on top. Ta-da, look. This way he already has dark eyes. So if you know you want your elephant to have dark eyes, little sneak, not a sneak peek, but a little shortcut, that dark color will fill in his eyes, and you don't have to add the extra eyes like our designer did here. See how they have a white background? The eyes would have been white, which an elephant with white eyes probably wouldn't look that great. So our designer wisely added the little dark eyes. But here we have it with our image, our little shortcut. The eyes already fill in. So you can do that. You can add to that. You could decorate them. Of course, like I said, it comes with the different clothing. Like on this one, there's some clothes. You could add clothes to them if you want. You have lots of different options. A bow, all kinds of cute stuff you can do with that. So that's the Stamps of Life Little Peeps elephant. All right. On our website, available to you. Maybe you have it. When was it from? If you're going back in time to your stash 3 years ago, you're looking at August 2022. You'll find it. So dig through that pile and see if you have it. If you have it, the ideas are on the website. If you need some extra inspiration, and I believe there should be a button on the Little Peeps on our website where if you click it on the gallery, it'll show you even more ideas than what I had shown you. So that's kind of nice as well. All right, we are moving on. Things are going smooth here. Our next item is a fold it. And let me switch over so you can see what we're going to look at here. This is from the Stamps of Life as well. Let's see when it was from. I will find it here for you. Here we go. Milk and Cookie Fold It Card Die Set. June of 2021. Now we're getting a little bit further back in time. So the previous one was 3 years old. This one's 4 years old. I can't even believe that it's been 4 years since this came out. But this is the Milk and Cookie Fold It Die Set. It is fun because, of course, you have the Fold It, the milk bottle and cookies. You can piece them together and they can be separate. So you have different options. You're going to see there's separate cookies here. Chocolate chips, you have a little grid for your cookies. The word milk is in there. I'll show you how easy it is to die cut this. We'll piece it together a little bit. So 4 years ago, do you have this one? Have you used it lately? This will be a great reminder to you if you have not used it. Okay. And I have these great card samples. Now I'll show you these samples. Well, let's look at it at the website first. Let's go ahead and do that. After we check it out on the website, I'll show you the samples that we're going to do our crossword game. All right. So this is where our audience is growing a little bit. Everybody's going to have to help participate. Okay. It's kind of a mini crossword and we're going to see if we can do it together. We have 3 minutes to solve it. So it doesn't take that long. We'll see how many we can get, the questions we can get right in 3 minutes. As long as we don't get just stuck on one question, I think we can do it. But I think if everybody's answering in the chat between the couple I get right and all the ones you answer right, we might be able to do it. So we're a different game for us today. So if you are on the website, you're going to just type in milk or type in cookies. This will come up and you'll find the Stamps of Life Milk and Cookie. It's an A2 size card and we call it shape card, and it is right there. You get how many dies? 11 dies. More dies come in this than I thought. And let's see, we'll make the card samples a little bit larger. So if you want to see larger samples, you just click on that there, and there you go. So you get all of these. There's the milk bottle, the word milk, a shadow, cookies, your little chocolate chips you can add there. There's all the dies you get. and all of the fun ideas. And so many ways you can do this. You're the milk to my cookies, it says. Add a little cow. That's one of our farm characters. And then you're the milk to my cookie. Another one. Look at those glittery cookies. That's fun. Way to decorate your cookies. I always think of the chocolate chip cookies always first, but there's other ways you can make your cookie look. Milk, it says. And Dear Santa, I believe. Ooh, so you can make a little card for Santa. Fun. And there's our stuffies made with the milk bottle and cookies, both. And that is a Z fold card, a double Z fold card, I think can do that. So you kind of get these different layers, which is neat. A lot of samples for this one. Pink and white, that's a nice mix. Just a little bow on there. And then back to the beginning. So that's all on the website, okay? On the website. And then I think we might have seen most of these card samples, but I'm going to show you these samples as well real quick, okay? It's kind of fun to see them here in person with me, where they look good on the website, but sometimes even, and again, I'm saying in person, but we're not really in person, right? But it just seems like it's a little more, you get a little more detail when you can look at it here. So I will show you these, cleaning up my table here and making sure I have some space. Okay, I think I've got all that set to go. Let me hit that camera. There we go. That should do it. Okay, and there was the folded set that I was showing you. I'm going to put this over on the machine so I don't lose it. That will go there. And here's our card samples. I think there might be a couple extras here. There's that one. Now, remember with the folded, it can open on the side. Here's a side. It can also open on the top. And we might have all side options on this, but let's check it out. Side, sweet milk, it says, like strawberry milk. And there is that Z fold. So it starts out like that and then opens up. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. I believe it's one die that does all of this work, makes the Z. Then you just add in the panels. Looks really like a lot of work, but ooh, I think that one, you guys might like that. Wishing you a yummy holiday season. There's a new one, kind of a Christmas theme. This one opens at the top. Our designer really taped this one down. There it goes. Whoops. So it does open at the top. So you have that option with the fold it. You can do top or you can do side. Here's a side with some solid colors, a little bit of patterns there. Embellish it a little bit. Nice. Here's our milk with that kind of pink look. More traditional here, our cookie and with milk. That's what I think of chocolate chip cookies right there. Moo milk and cookies, it says. Our cow saying moo. Cute one. And our last one, Dear Santa, I believe that is a top fold. So we have all of those. Most of these examples are on the website, but if you want to see them again, you can always skip back in this video and you can see these ones again. Fun ideas from our design team. Okay, we're going to do our game before we die cut this one. Let's do that. How are we doing on time? Pretty good. Let me switch back over to me. Okay, we are on a website today called, what is it called? Sporkle. Sporkle. They have lots of different games here. This one is a mini crossword. They're going to give us 3 minutes to try to do it. So I'm going to try to share this screen with you. And now when I hit play the quiz, it is going to start. Okay, our timer, I believe. And we'll see how many we can do. If you're going to tell me the answers, if I guess any of them on my own, I'm just going to add it in. But it's a smaller size crossword puzzle, so I think we can do it. So let's check it out. If you know the answers, I will read the questions. That will be the one key. We got to try to stay on the same question together. But if we get stuck on one, we're just going to move forward and we might come back real quick. So hopefully you can see this good enough. Let me make this a little bit larger and let me share this screen so you can see what I am looking at. Okay, here we go. We're going to present that crossword puzzle to you and share a screen. Let's do that. And there is our crossword. Oh, hang on. I have two crosswords open here. Hang on 1 second. I got to close one of these or it's going to get confusing. I don't want to confuse us anymore than is necessary. Okay, I've got that. And now we can try. Let's present. Somehow I opened that up twice. Share screen. Here we go. All right. I think you can see this. I'm going to share. Let me see what you're looking at. Okay, you guys, you can see the crossword, right? And we are on number 1, and we are doing the ones that are across. So the first question, I'm going to go ahead and hit play right now. And there's the question. Play quiz. Let's go. Let's see what we can do in 3 minutes. The 2 that are highlighted are called an anagram. So somehow the letters that spell this word also spell this word. They can be in different order. We're not going to really worry about that part, but we'll find out. Here we go. Let's make sure that is not going. We want to skip that ad. No, we don't want that. All right. Question number 1. And I'm going to hit play quiz. Here we go. Sleeping spot. Sleeping spot. Does anybody know number 1 across? Sleeping spot. What would the sleeping spot? Okay, Diane says bed. I think you're right. Bed. Now let's try. Whoop. Now I'm messing up. B-E-D. Okay. 7 across, since it's right underneath it. What is 7? Spanish gold. Does anybody know that one? That is a tricky one. Spanish gold. Does anybody know what Spanish gold is? 3 letters. 3 letters. 3 letters. 3 letters. 3 letters. Number 4 is ace. Okay. High card. Good job. How about number 7, you guys? Whoop. Why does it keep filling in that down? So we got ace. Does anybody know 7 across? Spanish gold. Spanish gold. And it's 3 letters. 3 letters. That's a tricky one. So we're going to come back to that one. How about number 8? Stimpy's pal. 8 across. Stimpy's pal. Isn't it Ren and Stimpy? I don't know the show, but is it Ren? Somebody help me out. Aura. Is that right, Jamie? Oro. Gold. That's right. Oro is gold. Good job, you guys. I forgot that one. Whoops. Oh, and then we're going to blank that one out. 8 across. Stimpy's pal. I think it's Ren. Nope. Every time it goes under if I don't highlight that. Ren. What's the next one across? Number 9. This will be a tricky one. Huxley's Brave. Does anybody know number 9 across? Huxley's Brave. Does anybody know 9? Huxley's Brave. Huxley's Brave. I'm waiting for you guys. You got to help me out because I don't know this one. Huxley's Brave. Anybody for number 9? New World. Ah, gosh, you're awesome, you guys. Okay, let's see if it'll let us go across. New World. Good. Okay, who's on to number 12? 12 across. 12 across. 12 across. What is the question for 12 across? Can we see it? Money in Mexico. I got to get rid of that. Money in Mexico. Who knows 12 across? Money in Mexico. Money in Mexico is what? Is it dinero? 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 You guys think that's right? Dinero? Peso. Peso will not fit there. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Dinero, right? Who knows how to spell dinero? Pesos. No. I think it's dinero. Let's see. Let's try it. Does this work? 1 down would be bond. 2 down is full of oneself. Ooh, I don't know about that. Maybe I'm wrong. They already filled in. We already ran out of time. Oh my gosh. Did it really feel like 3 minutes, you guys? Dinero. Yeah, we did get dinero. 46%. Huh. 46%. 46%. Huh. Did it really seem like that was 3 minutes? 3 minutes. Now, even though we only got 40%, 46%, look, Let's look. So we didn't get the red ones. We got dinero. If we were just going across, league, woodland. So we missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them we didn't get. That really seemed like 3 minutes. That went really fast to me. Oh. So if you want to know what an anagram is, look. Again, 46%. 46%. We'll do better next time. But a anagram is these big words here. So download. So this is tricky. Download. What was the question? 3 down is get an app, for example. So you download an app. Great. And then it has all the same letters as this one across here. So all these letters you can make into another word called woodland. What was that one? 16 across. Forested area. So that is an anagram when you have the same letters, but they can be mixed around and make a different word. So that's the tricky part of this that you will learn the answers if you can fill everything in, because you'd never figure out these words by themselves. But download and woodland have the same letters in them. They're just kind of mixed around. So for those of you who helped me, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping me. Sadly, we still got an F. Now, what do you think? If you could have just done it by yourself without me interfering, do you think you could have got it all done in 3 minutes? I don't think I could have got it all done in 3 minutes. First off, I would have never got the oro, the gold. I just couldn't think of that. And I would have not got the Buxleys. The other ones, maybe. Everybody's saying nope. Yeah, Jamie says she could have got it. Good. I say I would not have been able to do it by myself in 3 minutes. I might have been able to answer a couple more, but I still might have been around that 50%. I think we need more like the 5-minute range, don't you think? If we would have had 5 minutes, I think we could have done it. 5 minutes would have been enough. So the next time we try to do a crossword, we will maybe find one that gives us a little bit more time, or we're just gonna have to be way faster. Maybe we'll have one group work on one set of the questions and one on the other. Like some of us working on the evens and some on the odds. That might help us out, because doing just one question at a time, it's just hard to get it done in 3 minutes. But we tried. So I hope you had fun with that. Let's go ahead and check out our dice here, okay? Let's go ahead and move on. That was a quick game. I don't know what we'll do next week, but we'll find something interesting to play. And let's go ahead and play around with the dice that we have here. Let's do that now. And then don't forget, if you have a Bible with you, or if you have an app on your phone or on a tablet or something, we're going to check out Proverbs 14 today. Okay, whoops. Why is that not switching over? Proverbs 14. There we go. Proverbs 14 we're going to be looking at. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and get this out. I kind of have already made a cookie yesterday, so I think I'm going to use the cookie from yesterday, but I will show you how to do the milk section of this. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, let's see. Let's go ahead and get these dies out. There's our cookie dies. We'll put those off to the side. We need our milk. And we want to do, how are we going to do this? We want our milk bottle to look white. Doesn't have to be white, but we are going to choose white here today. And I have that dark color from earlier. We'll use the dark blue for the background. So on a Fold It, you can go ahead and cut out your, let's see, how will that layer in there? That will layer right inside there. That'll look good. Oops, my alarm's going off. That means I'm running a little behind. Let's see how I want to do that. I would like to have that layer behind there. So let's go ahead and for the inside, we're going to use the inside die. And we're going to run that through our machine. That'll give us our milk bottle. And this is a pretty easy one to use. I did test it out a little ahead of time yesterday. So if I stay organized, this should not take us too long. So this is the milk bottle. It comes with the cookies. You can kind of decorate and do whatever you like with your cookies. Let me get that centered. Sorry about that. And I'm going to set aside the items as we cut them. Okay, so there is my milk bottle. Off to a good start. There's our milk bottle. Then we need to go ahead and we need the base of the card, which will kind of make a shadow too. So we're going to take this cardstock and we need to have a nice fold on there. I'm going to score this a little bit. You can use any kind of tool. If you have a score tool, great. I did have a bone folder here somewhere, but I've already lost that. Okay, so this side we're going to, when you do a fold it, it's going to say place your fold. There should be a spot where it says place your fold. Can I see it on here? This one, I'm looking at the wrong die. That's why. So the outer image will have a spot where it says place your fold here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one spot. It says you can, that says stamps of life. Here it says place fold here. You can do side or top. Let's see, we're going to do, I don't think we've done a top one for a while. So let's go ahead and try to do a top. Well, how would that work? There we go. Just like that. So the top of your die has to be just a little bit over the, no, that's not going to work because I folded my cardstock already that way. So we're going to have to go side. We're going to go side. Let's run that through the machine. Again, you could do top or side, but since I already folded my cardstock that way, we've committed ourselves. This card is going to have to be a side fold. If I wanted to find another piece of cardstock, I could do that. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. But that way I could make the fold be on the top if I wanted to. All right, let's run that through there. So with a folded card, you kind of have to make the base. But you'll see the base doesn't come out exactly right because we want it to be a fold. It's going to kind of have a weird side to it. So I will show you what happens. It looks good, right? It opens up. Perfect. Add your little message in there. But look, this side of the milk bottle has that nice curve. This side doesn't. We can't have our card look like that. So we've got to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that same die we just used and we're going to run it through one more time. But this time it's not going to be on the edge. It's not going to be on the fold spot. It's just going to be simply straight on the cardstock. That way, when we die cut, we're going to die cut the whole cutting area of this die. See that? There will be nothing, won't be going off the edge like that. It will completely cut that out. So that's what we have to do to cover up that straight line. Let's do that next. All right. Go through there. Whoops. So when you hear that little squeaking extra noise, that means I didn't line up my cutting board exactly right. Is it the end of the world? No. You'll get some of that noise. It might be a little bit harder to run it through the machine, but no big deal. All right, there we go. Now you see this just goes over the top. That straight edge is gone. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got some adhesive here. I can move these out of the way. I won't need them anymore. Put some adhesive on here. And I'm still a little bit off center. And I'm going to take, this is the folding part of the card. I'm going to add the full image that I cut out to the top. Now they're layered together. We still have our folding card. Good. Now, this was the inside that we had cut out. Now this is going to be kind of our decorative part. And it gives a nice shadow around it with that dark color. Of course, we saw the pink. You could use whatever color you want for your base. But I'm going to add that to the front. Now, again, yesterday I told you I cut some of the images out ahead of time. And so for the sake of saving some time today, I'm going to use some of the items that I already had from yesterday. All right, there we go. We're still right on target. We've got our card. Now with a dark base, you're going to have to come up with something light in order to stamp in there. So when you make your own card, remember that if you have a dark inside like that, you're either going to need like a white ink, or you're going to have to make yourself a light color box here that you're going to be able to stamp on in order for your sentiment to show up. So we've got that. Let's see, what else can we do now? We need the top. So let's find something that would look nice for the top. And I think I might have an idea. Ooh, this might be cool. Just to give it a little extra, I have this foil. I always like to use the foils and the glitters. So I am going to die cut this, but I just want the top. No, not that die. Let's see. I don't need to cut the full. We're just trying to cut just this section here. That's all we need. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my platform here. And I just want to cut this little section here. We might have to trim it down a little bit, or if I can make it straight, it might look nice even without that. So I'm going to run that through. I'm just trying to get the top of the milk bottle, just the top of the milk bottle. You might want to use a little washi tape if you're not certain you'll be able to keep that straight, but this looks like it worked out pretty good. All right, there's the top of my milk bottle. Let's go ahead and add that to our milk carton. That'll look good. So we need a little adhesive again. And I'll turn this upside down and I'll add my adhesive on there. Everything going okay there? Good, 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 good. Let's see. Where's my adhesive? Yeah, I see some of you say you forget about Take Two Tuesday. How could you let that happen? I mean, don't you just think about this all week till the next time I'm going to be on? Ha, ha, ha. I'm just joking. But reminders work. I can't remember everything. So set yourself a reminder. If you really want to make sure you watch and join in with us, set yourself a reminder. So I'm going to add this to the top. And there's the lid to my milk bottle. Nice, nice, nice. Now, yesterday, I had done the cookie ahead of time. I had done the words milk. So I'm going to add that next. The letters are separate, so you could get a little decorative with this. I used some pattern paper for the background here. And maybe I'm just going to add milk right there. And I do have a cookie. I think it needs a couple more chocolate chips. So let me see if I can find, this part's a little bit tedious, but I think I can do it pretty quick. Yesterday it didn't take. So I have some extra chocolate chips here that I had die cut yesterday. Let's see if I can grab those out of there. And we'll just add a couple of extras. This doesn't look too bad, but you know what? If you have a chocolate chip cookie, you want to have a lot of chocolate chips, right? That's what it's going to make it. The cookie's fine. If you want it to really taste good, you're going to need to have some extra chocolate chips. So we're going to add a couple of extra chocolate chips, and then we will be done with this card. We will be done. I think I have one here. Okay, so I have a total of 3. Let me get my glasses, because this is the part where if you can actually see what you're doing, it makes a big difference. And I've got my glasses, and look how tiny these little things are. And yesterday they peeled apart really nice. So hopefully that will happen again today. Is this hard for you guys? It is really hard for me. My fingers are just, I don't think I have fat fingers, but they're just too big for these little tiny pieces. So there's one. So I've already got 5 on there. I'm just going to add a couple extras. Let's really make sure we push those down real good. And I've got a couple more. Let's add a couple more here. See if we can get that to peel. You can see what I'm doing, I hope. You can see that I had put adhesive paper on this yesterday to make these sticky, because this would be really hard to do an adhesive runner on, right? I've got that. And maybe we need one more. One more should be enough. One more. Look how tiny that is. If I would not have put that, run it through it on an adhesive sheet, this would be really hard to manage. Still do it, maybe just a tiny little dot of glue. You could add a little glue to it, but I like the sheets. And we're kind of missing a spot there right in the middle. Okay, that looks like a pretty good cookie, a good number of chocolate chips. And what we could do If we wanted to put this like on a scrapbook page or a card front, we could just layer these anyhow we want. But we want to go ahead and adhere this to our fold it. So let's do that. I added a little adhesive to the cookie. And you are going to see this all come together. I'm just going to add that right there. Ta-da! Let's see, I can move this up maybe just a little so they don't kind of overlap each other. There you got your milk, sentiment, your cookie right there. You are good to go. We decorated and made our card top look a little fancy. We got our milk there. We used pattern paper for the background. Again, these letters are all separate, so you can mix and match and do whatever you want with that. If you want to get a little crazier, mix and match colors, open that up. There's your inside of your card. It looks like I added a little extra glue that I didn't need since my cookie is hanging off the edge. Opens up like that. Add your sentiments on the inside. Of course, we saw some of our designers add bows or string. That would add a little extra interest there. And then on the back, you could finish it off your card with a personalized stamp. All right, not too hard, right? If you have this one, summertime is here, milk and cookies for summertime or spring cards. Make sure you use that. Again, we have all these other, you want to see some really awesome examples, go to the website, see what the design team did with that. All right, you can go a little bit crazier. Hey, I kind of followed the model of that one. They used the larger cookie. And so these are all on the website. You can check out all of these different ideas. And there's mine as well. All right, Stamps of Life, milk and cookie, fold it, dice it. Fun to make with just as a fold it like that, a folding card that it can fold on the top if you want, or you have the side option. And then you can also add it to, like I said, a card front. Maybe you have a calendar you want to decorate, or what else? Maybe some poster board. You have banners, all kinds of different things you could do with this. Easy, easy, easy. All right, we're going to continue on. We're wrapping things up. Let me get rid of this down here. We are on to our devotional time. Thanks for hanging out with me. We've had a lot of fun and done a lot of good stuff together. I always think this is kind of the most important time. So I hope you feel that way, and I hope you'll hang out here. And let's go ahead and get into God's Word. Now, this was not my fault. All of a sudden, all my setup said, hey, you're not here anymore. So let's fix that. So you see our verse there. All right, we're back. Sorry for the delay. I don't know. I can't take the blame. This is just one of those technology things. As soon as I said, open up the Bible, all these funny things start happening. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. And now my Bible is not working either. Wow. Let me turn this off real quick and turn this back on. Thanks for your patience. We can do this. We can do this. All right. I think we're back. All right. Proverbs 14. I showed you the verse. All right. Everybody ready? Let's do this. Let's do this. We don't give up. We don't give up. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Let me get I do have some notes here. Proverbs 14 verse 34 is our main verse, which I had showed you there already. Now, as we're starting to discuss this, you guys, now, if you're like me, do you ever feel like you're a little bit disappointed in the direction of our nation? And this is not just thinking politically, but in everything. So, whether your group is in charge or not, what do you think about the direction of our nation? I think that things are going a little bit crazy nowadays. Don't you kind of feel that way? Don't you feel that way? It's like sometimes it seems like things were much better in the past than they are today. And sometimes it makes us even wish for the good old days. You remember maybe when there were times that there were no cell phones, or we couldn't watch TVs all the time, or I don't know, life was just simpler. Don't you ever wish you could go back to those days? Like, the things that pop in my mind were like Leave It to Beaver times, or the Brady Bunch, or different things like that, right? Things seem to be a little bit crazy nowadays. But the good news is that there's still hope. And there's hope that things can change, and that things for our nation even can go in a positive direction, a direction where we draw closer back to God. See, God is into revival, and he doesn't easily give up on people. He's a God who gives second chances and third chances and fourth chances. He's very merciful and very patient and very kind and gracious. But all that being said, at the same time, there are limits, and we can push God to the end where he runs out of patience with us, and we run out of time, and eventually we are led to judgment. So here we go. In Proverbs chapter 14, let's find our verse. Here we are. Proverbs 14:34 says, righteousness, that's like doing things the way that God wants, agreeing with God. When we do those things, it exalts a nation, a people. So when you are wanting to obey God and do the things he wants you to do, blessings for you. But then look, it says, but sin is a reproach to any people. The word reproach is not one we normally use, right? So that's kind of a strange word, but reproach means like shame, disgrace, censor, contempt, derision, which means like ridicule. So if you think of that word reproach, it's not a good thing, shame. So sin is a shame, it's a disgrace to any people. So we can definitely know that the direction of our nation is not going in a good direction, I would say. You know, we definitely live in times where sin is increasing, right? There's more and more sin. At least we can see more visibly. I think a lot of the stuff that we see going on nowadays that maybe we just don't agree with, or we know is a little bit off, I think a lot of these things might have been happening or taking place, but they were perhaps kind of hidden and out of sight. Well, now a lot of these ungodly practices, things, actions of people is just kind of right out there. It's getting out into mainstream more. And so we notice it more. So as we're going deeper into sin, we're starting to see that like material things are more important than spiritual things. And things like love of money or love of excess, or, you know, having all kinds of material things. Those are the kind of things that are really promoted. Like you were told this will fulfill you or make your life complete. So everybody's going after these things. Life is not valued as much, you know. Kids aren't as valued maybe as much as they used to be. Crime is increasing, of course. There's lots of crime around us. It seems like, you know, people get away with a lot more than they used to. Like things that, I don't know, minor things that we used to have some fear about that we'd get taken away and put in jail for. Now it's like you just get off the hook on all these things. So it seems like, you know, evil is being called good and good is being called evil. All these things are kind of out of balance. We're definitely not going in the direction of righteousness. We are in the position where we're in the shameful position. Things are not good. They're not the way God wants them to be. So we're in a dangerous spot. Remember how I was talking about judgment. God will eventually judge. So our rebellion against God and this open practice of sin, God's not going to allow it forever. And God is going to judge us one day if we don't change. There's going to be serious consequences. Now, we don't want those kind of things to happen, right? We don't want those things to happen if we live here in the United States or Canada or Mexico, or maybe you're from a different country. We want the best for our country and for the people that we care about. But when a nation starts to rebel against the laws of God, you can expect that judgment's going to follow. Just like I was saying, it's a shame. God won't let it go on forever. Now, if you want to read something on your own, if you want to open up your Bibles, you want to go a little bit deeper, read Romans chapter 2. It really talks about what's going to happen when people are in rebellion to God. And he says, you can't just go along with it and think that everything's going to be okay. If you're sinning or you're just kind of giving approval to others by not standing up against it, there's going to be judgment for us as well as the people who are practicing sin. So as a nation, we're all headed in the wrong direction. So Romans chapter 2, almost a full chapter, really speaks a lot about how people have turned away from God. And it says that they do get judged eventually. So we're getting closer to that section. But if you want to a shorter warning, if you were to go to 1 Peter, and I think I have this verse for us to look at. Let me see. There it is. 1 Peter. Now, Peter was one of Jesus' disciples, and here's what he wrote. It says, "For the time has come for judgment to begin at the house of God." So remember how I said, even if we're really not the people who are just doing the sin, but we're kind of just going along with it. It says to begin at the house of God. And if it begins with us first, what will be the end of those who do not obey the gospel of God? So as Christians, as followers of Jesus, as part of the church, we're supposed to be setting the example for our nation. And of course, you know that a lot of churches have problems, and you hear about leaders or even normal people, and people like me who go to church, we sin, right? And we fall short and we come up short. So we're all kind of, as followers of Jesus, we're held to a higher standard. And the Bible tells us right here that God's going to deal with us first. So it's important that as followers of Jesus, we get our house in order. We're going to set an example for the rest of the nation. Now, will the whole nation always follow what followers of Jesus are doing? Probably not. But we got to do our part, right? We've got to do our part. So what can we do? What can we do to help change the direction of our nation? So first off is, we have to repent. So if there is sin in my life or your life, we have to be the ones who are willing to change right now. So maybe there's something we know that is off that we shouldn't be doing. Let's decide today, hey, I'm going to go in a different direction. Remember, repent means to change or go a different direction. That's what God wants us to do. If we are going off in some way that's not good for us, he just wants us to change, get in agreement with him. So as followers of Jesus, that's what we are to do. We are to be that example. That's what Sylvie says. Let's be the example. But it starts by us changing. And so it's our attitude, our words, our thoughts, little things. We're not doing little sneaky things. We're not mistreating other people. I don't know. There's all different kinds of ways we can sin. But we know when we do things that are not right. God will speak to us and he'll convict us. And then some of the time other people can see the things that we're not doing right. And when we're out of line, that's even worse because then we're not setting that a good example. And then the next thing we can do is that we can pray. And God would have us to do that too. We can pray that we would change, and we can also pray that our nation would change. So then we have this great verse. So remember how I was telling you that God gives second chances, even to a whole nation like ours. And in this verse, it kind of applies to the people of Israel back in Old Testament times. And their king was King Solomon. You remember him? He was famous and powerful and rich and super wise. And God spoke to him. And this is what God said to Solomon. Let me show you here. It is from 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. So God has said, now if the people stray away and they're in trouble and I'm judging them, look, I'm going to give them a chance. He says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. What does it say? People have to turn from their wicked ways. We have to repent, turn away from sin. And it says, I will hear from heaven. It says, when they pray and seek my face, when they humble themselves. See all these things we can be doing? Humble ourselves, pray, call upon God, change, go in a different direction. For us, as followers of Jesus, that is what we are called to do. So you can start by praying for your own family, your house, of course, for yourself. Pray for your family, your church. You can pray for your neighborhood, your cities, your colleges, campuses, or the workplaces that you go to. You can pray for your county, your state, and then, of course, our nation. We can pray for all this. We can pray for people of different political parties, people who are like us, people who are different than us, people of different races, people who are rich, people who are poor, in between. We can pray for all of these people. We can make a difference. God says he will hear. If we're willing to change and pray and ask God to heal our nation, he will do it. He wants to do that. Remember, God doesn't want to judge people. There's a verse, I don't have it, but it says that it's like a strange thing for God. He doesn't want to judge people. He wants to forgive. He wants to show mercy. So there's still hope. We can know that. You know, our main verse said, sin is a problem. But if we start to go righteous, if we start to turn to God, get in agreement with him for calling upon him and seeking his face, he's going to exalt that nation. He's going to bless that nation. And that's what we want. We want God's blessings, right? So we can still, there's hope. We can still escape judgment. God doesn't want to judge us, but since he's a just God, he will eventually judge us if we continue on the path that we're going. And we can't change the whole nation ourselves, but what can we do? We can just look in the mirror and say, I'm going to be the one who changes. I'm going to be the one who makes a difference. I am going to be the one who prays. Now, if you see one person doing that, or 10 people, or hundreds, or thousands, or millions of people changing, then we could really have an impact upon our land. So let's hope and not give up and pray that God will do something miraculous, right? Miraculous amongst our hearts and amongst the people that we care about. And again, since we're to love our neighbor as ourselves, we're supposed to care about everybody. And we don't want God's judgment to come down on people. We want them to receive his grace, his mercy, and love. Those are the things that come natural to God, right? And we want those things for our country as well. So let's pay attention to the warning, right? But let's also know that there's hope. We don't want to give up. Let's not get discouraged. Things aren't always going the direction we would like them to be, but we don't quit. We don't give up. It might just be that next prayer. It might be that next effort that we make that makes a big change and a difference, not only in our lives, but the lives of the people around us. All right, so that is our wrap up for today. I hope you were blessed. Thanks for hanging out with me for the bit of technical difficulties. That was all computer. I didn't even touch a button. I didn't do anything. I don't know. Was it a spiritual battle? Maybe, who knows? But anyway, the computers did not want to cooperate. So I hope that's a blessing for you guys. You guys are a blessing to me, and I'm thankful that you would join me. If you have not, if you'll click the like buttons, that will help people to find us. And so if you haven't hit a like button and you had a good time today, do click that. All the items we talked about are on the website. I talked about, go through Proverbs. You could do it in 1 month. You could read through a big book of the Bible, 31 chapters, and you could do it in a month. And you'll be blessed if you do that. So I want to encourage you to do that. Don't forget, we have Crafting Corner on Thursday. Stephanie will be in our home studio for that one. She'll be back from Florida. And then Stephanie's back on HSN later today. Okay. And that is, if you're on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 p.m. if you're on the Pacific. She'll be live. Okay, live. So make sure you join her for that. And then with that being said, I think we are all wrapped up. I told you about all the new stuff going on. We had a good time. I think everything else is good. So I'm going to go back to work around here. I've got video, computer stuff to do. I did all my shipping yesterday, so I got that marked off the list. But otherwise, have a blessed day. I appreciate all of you being here. I'll see you next Tuesday. If you forget, set yourself reminders like Crafting Corner Thursday, No Makeup Mondays on Monday, Tuesday, Take Two Tuesday. But that being said, if you miss it, don't worry, because everything's taped, recorded. You can go back and watch at a later time. Have a wonderful day. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks for joining me. And I want you to have a fun rest of your Tuesday. Whatever you're up to today, make it a great day. Have some fun, enjoy life, and enjoy some of the blessings that you have. Maybe just take a little bit of time to give thanks for some of the good things that are going on in your life. Again, I'm thankful for all of you. Okay, I will see you next week. I'm going to wrap it up here and get out of here. If I can get my little screen. I've got it. I found it. Okay, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.